Assalamu alaikum to you all to my Nginx series. This is our part 2 video. In the last section, we have seen what is Nginx and some features and some basic configuration files and commands. Let us explore more. So here is some other definition. What is Nginx? An X platform web server serves content in response to HTTPS or SMTP, can serve static content from disk directly, can use HTTP or fast CGI to call web application that serves dynamic content. Okay, Nginx is not an application container. It does not host your app. It does I/O to fulfill an HTTP request, what I mentioned in the earlier videos. This makes it possible to optimize its architecture around asynchronous I/O operations. And let's see the architecture of Nginx. Okay, it's a little bit fuzzy for the beginner like me, but I will try to explain what does things means. Actually, Nginx support event-driven asynchronous null-blocking HTTP request. What happens when you are using some node server or some Laravel server? It hold the request and process and response, send the response back. But for Nginx, it doesn't do this. It do not process by itself. Okay, it just take the request HTTP or either HTTPS, and it spawns some worker process here, and it has some case loader and case manager. Okay, and it do some I/O operation, and it pass the request to the worker process. Okay, to the upstream. Actually, you can see, and as you can see, the fast CGI and memcache or HTTP, it uses them to serve the dynamic code like Laravel or you can say the Node.js application. Okay, or Django application. So this is kind of the entry point, or this is the load balancing technologies, great load balancing technologies with built in more than 80 module, and it supports also a lot of third-party modules to help you in every section like caching or rate limiting or load balancing. Okay, that single word load balancing is very small word for you, but when you have to serve like 10,000 requests, and you have some servers, and you have to choose some tools you need some configuration with a very short time and easily, and the fastest way which work like a you will see like a charm. Then you will find that how helpful Nginx is. To use Nginx, we need to write a configuration file that describes the content and sites we want to host. The configuration file is made up of directives, that means some value and comments. Module bring in new directives when linked into Nginx. Okay, there are 3 base modules that are always available, like core module and event module and configuration modules. We'll see some others configuration included in the root Nginx file as I showed you in the previous video. And here is some another modules like HTTP core, rewrite, and HTTP upstream and HTTP proxy module. I will show you everything with some examples like HTTP upstream and rewriting and HTTP proxy modules. So please stay tuned with me. Now, as you can see, Nginx is an extensible through a range of third-party modules. Open registry turns Nginx into an application server. It is a bundle of modules. It ships with the Logit 2.1 compiler. Kong is an API gateway built on top of OpenResty. It's a bundle of modules. It uses Cassandra as a data store. Okay, so this is the thing. Some clients are asking for something, and it's using a minimal number of necessary connection to serve a several number of server. Okay, So I think you got that. It's not the server, but in front of server acting as a reverse proxy. So do you know what is reverse proxy? I mentioned in earlier tutorials that reverse proxy hides the real servers, and the forward proxy hides the real client, and checks the SSL and do all things to rate limiting security purposes issues. Okay, so now let's go into the lab and uh, let me show you. So let's go into the lab and let's show some example today. So as you can see, I am in the default configuration file. Here I made some changes. I would like to remove these things. It's actually we don't need these things now for now. Okay, so we will see some load balancing today. Okay, so this is the simple configuration. Let me show you how we can save. Control Shift P, we can save this. Okay, so as you can see, I have some upstream module and its value is backend. That means its keyword is backend. Okay, so and this is the context of this upstream module, and here we can have our server property, and its value is some IP or some port or some domain name. Okay, and I'm putting weight 1 for this server, and I'm putting weight 2 for this server. Okay, so and in the server directory, in the server module, it is like listening, and here the difference that I am using some location module. It's to pointing the backend upstream here. Okay, so I'm proxy passing this http/ this name backend. Okay, this is the upstream backend, and I am using proxy pass to this HTTP request to this backend. Okay, so and what is this 3000 and 4000 server? Let me show you. If I open it's another folder. Okay, like in the home directory, Vagrant, here is the server 1. Okay, here I'm open. It's asking for password. Okay, it should open here. As you can see, this is my Node.js server 1. It is hello world from server, but I would like to add some count value. Count is equal to 0. Okay, and I'd like to embed this count not in the response. I'd like to call this here, it here using this templating. Okay, so this is the count value. Okay, that's fine. Let's me. Okay, so I think we are done. We will see some count value as we have used our weighted load balancing. Okay, it is saved. Now if I open a terminal here, it is in Vagrant machine. Okay, if I run node index, okay, it's running on 3 port. Now if I open another window, okay, and if I connect again with our host, like this host, Okay, so this is our another connection, and I would like to open a folder called server 2. Okay, fine. Now I am in the server 2. So again here I will also add some count variable, how many times it's been called the request. Okay, count is equal to 0. Count is okay. So Control Shift P. So, and if I run this also, node index. Okay, my two server is running on node 4000 and node 3000. Now if I open my JMeter, or you can simply call from your terminal. Okay, I have to restart my server, right? So let me restart my server. Okay, now let's check that configuration is fine or not. Okay, fine. Now if I refresh, okay, it's serving from 2 1 2 1, and if I go there, here is always count 0. That means it's coming from here, not being not increasing actually. Okay, so here also count 0, but this value should be increased, but no problem, as it is its count should be 1 2 something like that. No problem, it is always as you can see, it's the server 1, it is called 2 times, and server 2 called 3 times. This is because our configuration file, if I open a new window for our configuration, okay, so if I open, okay, so here as you can see our configuration, if I put here I put it server 1 wait 1 and wait 2. So if I also call here, here is my thread, okay, test plan thread. If I run this thread, okay, I run this, let me show. Okay, our JMeter configuration is not fine for now, but I can configure it. I can add some thread group, and I can add some listener here. listener for summary report, right? Okay. View result tree, and here in a thread group we have to put number of number of threads, and in our test plan I think here I messed up something, like no problem, we can use our browser to check this. Okay, as you can see our server 2 is called 2 times than our server 1. So this is the simple load balancing, HTTP load balancing with Nginx. So thank you for your time with me. Hope we will see you in the next video.